Hello friends, welcome back to another video tutorial from Shomu's Biology. And CSIR NET is over. And before CSIR NET, I have been making many videos to help you to prepare for CSIR NET exam. And as many of you said that those tips helped you. So I am really glad that those tips are useful. This video is all about now how to do and what to do at this present times. Okay. Now the very first thing is that I'm going to talk about three important topics today. One is what you should do right now. Second thing, the predicted cutoff for CSIR UGC NET exam for this last December 2018 CSIR NET exam in life sciences. And third, I'm also going to tell you if you believe that you will qualify the NET, then what you should do at this point of time. So if you need to know all these things, stay tuned and watch the lecture. Now the very first thing is that the exam is over and I have analyzed the question paper. The question paper is not that difficult either. But one thing I feel like particularly in part B and some portions, there are questions that may need you to read more in depth to answer certain questions. Okay. Now based on that idea and the number of students being qualified every single year, the cutoff I predicted I'm going to share with you. Now before I tell the cutoff, one thing is common to all of you. Based on that cutoff, the cutoff can be in everything, because I predict the cutoff based on certain facts that I've checked the questions and all, but it's not always correct, but it will go very close with the actual cutoff of the CSIR NET exam. But believe me, do not believe in any other cutoff except for the original CSIR NET answer key. Right now you probably have seen many answer keys coming in. I'm not going to blame any of the answer keys, but I personally also made answer keys earlier, but I stopped making answer keys because it's not really important to know answer keys from other sources, because it's so silly. Even if you know and check your scores with different answer keys, you will never make sure that you will qualify NET. Right? So it's kind of a peace of mind that we check the answer key. Sometimes the answer key may guide us in the wrong direction. Maybe you answered some questions correctly, maybe according to the answer it came out wrong, and that make you feel really sad and you stop your preparation. So that is something, a negative impact of the answer keys. So I always believe to just stay for 1.5 months and wait for the original CSIR NET answer key, because the original answer key is the one on which the CSIR is going to check your score. So obviously the original answer key should be everything. Now second thing is the cutoff, because the moment CSIR release the original answer key, you can check your score, and then you need to know the predicted cutoff, because if you score above the cutoff, you will be given the scholarship. It's very important for you to judge yourself before the results, so that you can be prepared for yourself to find the lab and directly go into the PhD very fast, because PhD is a thing where you should not waste every single day even. Okay, so the predicted cutoff I am going to say here this time for JRF, Junior Research Fellowship, for general candidates 53%, for OBC 45%, for SC 38%, and for ST 33%. That is for the JRF. Now for the LS or lectureship, the cutoff for the general candidates will be 47%, for OBC 38%, for SC 32%, and for ST 27%. I'm not going to predict it for the physically handicapped type. You can easily compare it with the last time, and you can check the score on your own. So you can see, based on this idea, the cutoff can be a little low, which I predicted compared to the last time's cutoff. Last times were 55 around. So this time will be little like 1 to 2% lower than that. So near about, so for peace of mind, if you check your score to be more than 110, you can be 100% sure they will qualify this time's NET exam. That's what I can kind of say, not 100%, you can say 99% of surety that you qualify JRF as a general candidate. And if you get more than 98 or something in that range, or 100, then you can be kind of 99% sure, if you score 100, that you will get LS as a general candidate. So that is the rule of the thumb for this CSIR NET exam. Okay, but the most important topic that I should say is, meanwhile, the original answer key will come in a 1 or 1.5 month time. And most of the students, what they do is that they always forget their roll number. It happens every single time, because what they do actually, just after coming from the CSIR NET exam, they are just searching for answer keys, and the new answers is coming in from every single CSIR NET institutes out there. So almost like 10-12 answer keys, they are matching with every single answer keys. They become frustrated and puzzled, because the answers are different in different answer keys, and finally they throw that paper out. That is the biggest mistake that everybody is doing. Okay, so believe me, I don't know whether anybody can say you this to or not, but I should say this, that you should not do that. You don't need to even compare it to any other answer key. Don't look at any other answer key. No, you waited for 6 months for preparing CSIR NET, so why not wait for 1.5 months more to get the original answer key? But keep that original documents, that is the roll number, intact. Save in your mobile phone, and or get a Xerox copy of that form and admit card, and put it someplace really safe, because that paper will be required after 5 or 6 months when the actual results will be published. Okay, so do not rely on any of these answer keys and any other stuff. And most importantly, even if you check the answer key is fine, but get a hold on to the original roll number and the admit card where the roll number is written. So kindly note it down. Believe me, you are going to see this video after 5 months, and you are going to ask me how to find out my roll number if I lost it. Okay, that happens every single time. Okay, so that's the second thing, and probably the most important thing that I should say. And the third thing that I should say is that, based on these predictions, after 1.5 months, when you see the actual answer key and you check your score to be more than 110 or to be more than 100 as a general candidate, that means you qualified JRF or LS respectively. In that moment, if you think like you qualify JRF, if you think like you qualify JRF for as a general or any other SC, ST, OBC category, then your job is to find out research lab, because many other labs, they need to give you an interview and also to write a research proposal. So if you want to know how to write research proposal, you can check my video in my channel on how to write a research proposal and a research paper grant separately. And I've already talked about many different referencing styles and patterns as well in my channel. So you can check that video series. That'll be really helpful, and that will be the time to check that and practice that writing. And also you need to build a habit of reading research papers, because that's what you need to do when you're going to the interviews for PhD entrance exams. And also you need to think and check for the research institutes and labs where you can apply. So you need to contact those labs, you need to email their lab head, and need to discuss about your future research plan, telling that you kind of is in verge of that, even though they don't allow you to go there unless you have the degree of qualifying CSIR NET. But you can kind of shortlist like 10-12 labs in your vicinity, so that the moment they declare the cutoff, the moment they declare the results, you can directly go to those labs and talk to the respective PI or lab head to talk about. And in certain occasions, if you go to the lab head and talk to them regarding their research, and you read some of the research paper of that person, you can manually ask them to give you some of their research paper. You give your research interest into their research interest. They'll feel like you are really into that research, and even before 2-3 months, they are going to give you their research paper. You read it, you discuss it with your guide. The guide will assume that you are really interested in your research. So in the interview will be lenient, and the guide will pick you. So these are something, this is not written in any other places, but you need to know these things when you're applying for a PhD. Okay, so this is the time for it. But most importantly, keep your roll number safe. Keep your admit card with the roll number safe as a soft copy in your phone, as well as in a hard copy in the drawer, so that you're going to need it in the later. So that's all about today, and I believe I gave you kind of all the questions that you have in your mind right now. And Shomu's Biology CSIR NET coaching is also being starting from January. For like every season, we are also starting from January end for the upcoming season, that is June 2019 NET exam. So if you want to enroll into our coaching enrollment program, you can obviously check that in the description. You can also click the links that is there in the in all these cards. You can click there, you can search our website www.shomusbiology.com and can enroll into our CSIR NET online coaching as well as CSIR NET classroom coaching in Kolkata. Okay, so that's it. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe to our channel to get more and more videos like that.